Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge Aftershow. Today, Jenna, Pamela, and I are talking about the Challenge Season 40, Battle of the Eras, Episode 5, an era tradition. And do they mean a Laurel and Cara fight? Is that the tradition? What is the tradition? I think it's the fight, but I don't really know. Yes, no, maybe.
Mm.
Oh, I got the tradition. Maybe it's that there's another conspiracy every friggin' episode. I can't wait to talk about this one because I think it's legit, really good conspiracy. I think producers are really behind this one, too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Looking forward to hearing it.
I have a
Dan's
guess of what
conspiracy
your
corner.
conspiracy
This
is.
one's hot, and it's not even a hot take. I think it's like legit. I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think it really is what they did. So yeah.
I think I know what you're saying, and I think I agree with you. So we
Wow,
will
this
have
is
to
good.
see.
Well, there's a great tease.
Our guesses.
In some capacity, and enough of a what the hell was that situation.
Yep. Okay, good. So do you ladies want to give me overall thoughts? I love the episode again. Despite the producers, I think, really fiddling with the results and just the idea, the concept of what they're doing. They're just messing around with it. I don't like it. I still love the episode. Thought it was great. A lot of action, a lot of good stuff. Jenna, what do you want you to go next?
Agree with you. Thought it was fantastic, exciting, entertaining, was locked in the entire time. There was a shocking elimination for many reasons, which we're going to talk about outside of possible conspiracies and influenced by production, but also the winners and losers, in the men's heat that seemed to be a little bit more fair in terms of their elimination equipment. The daily challenge was amazing with all of the drama, people who were intentionally starting drama and other teams just having it because of the natural way that they gel and the way that they scream at each other. Fantastic. We'll talk about the tradition of Laurel and Cara, which was obviously a big element of this. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys think. How about you, Pam?
I thought is what a jerk Laurel is. She's so mean. It's upsetting. Like I was like livid watching this because she's so mean and bullyish. I don't know a better word. I'm not saying I do think she's a bully, but her demeanor in an argument is so like in your face and bullyish. I wish I had a better word.
Well, and Pam, it's funny you bring that up. It's the woe is me factor. Like at the end when she got nominated again for the Target, she's like, "Can I catch a break?" I'm like, what are you talking? You've been catching breaks this whole season. She just, the stuff that she says, like, "Oh, feel bad for me." It's like, no, I'm not going to, based on what you're doing at all. I was thinking to myself, is there anybody, honestly, and people will tell us in the comments, rooting for Laurel this season? Like I wrote down like everyone must be rooting for her to lose. Like she's like the big boss at the end of the Mario game that everyone's trying to defeat at this point. I feel like I don't understand how anyone could be on her side based on what they're showing us at least.
I was very surprised to speak to that really quick that Kylan was like, I think Cara started it. And I was like, whoa, I understand we're watching a TV show and it's edited, but I feel we'll save this room when we get into the Laurel and Cara. But Laurel, I'm a person that cries when I'm frustrated, not necessarily because I'm sad, but if I would be like, why are you being so mean to me? Like it's so hard to deal with that. And then she threw out the like, you're just pissed because I beat you last season. And it's like, my head was going to explode. It's like, Laurel, you got a free pass. Like you didn't win. You got the like, go straight to the end sticker. Like it was just so
her like Mario Kart stars.
Yeah. Cara performed so much better. It's so frustrating because she's so clearly the sort of aggressor. And the fact that she had her back 15 years ago, Laurel likes an underdog. Laurel likes someone she can control and dominate. She doesn't want an equal threat or a on par peer.
Yeah, I thought Bananas made a good point about the big sister, little sister dynamic. I thought that made a lot of sense what Banana says later in the episode.
Said that a couple of episodes ago. He said Laurel will always treat Cara like a little sister, and she's not gonna it's not gonna change.
She doesn't want it to change, right?
She doesn't want it to change.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. All right, well let's do some vignette stuff because I thought a lot of this stuff is kind of interesting and fun. I mean, the first thing I got to talk about is the relationship between Devon and Michelle. Now, this is what really throws me off about the producers. They're showing Olivia and Theo just sitting there, and Olivia tells the camera person to scroll over and show them actually making it. What was that about? Why would the camera? If I'm a cameraman, I see just Theo and Olivia doing nothing, and I see them making out. Why am I not? It's just funny that had to happen. Maybe they didn't see it, but Interesting.
I love that. I love the way that it played out. There was so much of breaking the fourth wall in the vignette of Devon and Michelle, and Dan, you got your little breadcrumb. I know you were really looking forward to seeing
It was like
Devon
it was
and
honestly
Michelle.
like a
You wanted to see how
quarter
they got
piece.
together.
I
It
think
was
I got
a
a quarter
tiny
piece
little
though.
taste, tiny little crumb.
I thought it was better,
I thought
Jenna.
it was, what's that?
I thought it was a little bit more. I thought it was like a quarter piece of bread. They did
Oh,
pretty good.
good. Okay.
I'll tell you about what I liked about it in a second, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. My favorite part is the setup. I was laughing hysterically at whatever Theo was going on and on about, talking about how he's from a different country. It just, who was he talking to? If Michelle and Devon were making out with each other, laying down on a couch, who was he talking to? I guess out in the universe with Olivia listening. But I loved Olivia's look to the camera, like, hey, make sure you get this, make sure you get this. I thought it was so funny. And it's really, we talk about always wanting to see the fun and the personalities and everybody. It's not just game drama. It's not just their ugly side. Like, we want to see them have fun. And that was hysterical. And it made me, really have fun with them. And then Derek walks by and makes his like sexual gesture to the camera. It's like a lot of breaking the fourth wall, and it's really funny.
That was great. I loved that.
How it played out.
I also liked Theo, like, was he telling the Lion King? It's like, I was born in another country and I woke up as the king. And I was like, is he Lion King in it too? Is that the theme of all the challenge?
I know, I thought it was hysterical. Like, is he trying to distract the camera? Like, who was he talking to in his monologue? It was so funny.
But I'll say, like, the confessionals is what got me with Devon and Michelle. Both their confessionals, they seemed real. Like, that's what I want. I know it's a reality show and a lot of it's fake, but what Devon said about Michelle, in a way, maybe like, okay, maybe Michelle is cool. If Devon likes her, maybe she is cool to hang out. I don't know. I've just never been a huge Michelle fan.
But so like influenced. Devon is your influencer.
And then not even like, oh, Devon's the best, so I'm gonna jump on board with him. But in a way, the way that he talked about her, it just seems so like natural and like he really meant it. And I don't think Devon falls in love too often. I have a feeling that's where this is going. I'm not saying they might not even be together anymore. Who the hell knows? But and then the way that she talked about getting all giddy about it, I was like, oh, that's really cute. I want to see more of this. I can't wait to see where it goes. So, and this might be, and this is going to be it's going to be like oh my God, I can't believe this. My favorite Michelle episode of all time was this episode. There you go.
Wow.
There it is. That's huge for me. Yes.
On you.
Well, partly, yes.
Yeah, I started to smirk when I saw them talking about each other, smirking like a giddy, cutesy way.
See, so you liked it too. It's not just me.
Yeah, like, I'm kind of like watching this little storybook middle school romance play out.
I think Devon is much more of like a Romeo, is that my 90 of a Lothario, of a more appealing in person than he perhaps comes off on the TV. Because
he's playing up a character.
Michelle was like, he has never been single when I've known him. Like, she made it like, oh, finally I can make my move. Not necessarily like that, but they both seem into each other. I'm into it. It did seem real, and they seem cute.
Very cute.
And shout out to the Tori, Devon, Jordan like trio friendship. I really like that. It's not often that ex-fiancés really like each other and are great friends.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they do start to get heated during the challenge. The way Jordan talks to people, including his say sometimes,
he was out of hand,
so out of pocket and so unnecessary. But you know what, Pam? As much as I love Devon and Michelle, good for you guys. Pursue it. Pam, I love your theory, from a few seasons back where you really feel like Devon and Tori are that secret couple that are meant to be, but you don't think so anymore?
Now I've turned around to, why do we always have to assume when a man and woman are really, really close that there's anything more? Like, maybe they just love each other as friends, but at the end of the day, maybe long game. Because right now, maybe like settle down end game, like in years, but now I wouldn't want them to get together and settle down just yet. Them have a few.
Devon and Michelle, and they're still together, so it's going well.
Oh, you looked this up for us, Jenna. This is all over social media.
Aren't they still together? I did a little bit of Instagram searching after they spoke last night about each other, because I remember you guys had told me that they got together, and we were all
I knew they were together after the show, but I haven't checked in like a month. It's been like a month since I've checked. Anything can happen in the challenge world.
It's been a long month.
Hey, Kellyanne just got married. I saw that on the challenge info line. So there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did.
The other thing I want to talk about before we get to the daily is the Vacation Alliance that has been talked about for a while now. And it's Tori, Devon, Casey, Josh, maybe a few others, but I think those are the main four.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't Anissa with them at one point? I don't know. Maybe I'm making that
Yeah,
one up.
Anissa was in the photo, yes.
Oh, is she in that photo? Okay. So, and this is becoming big because this is spanning era 3 and era 4, and they've talked about this. Tori said, "I'm one season removed from era 4. I could be on era 4. I'm just one. The only I'm really. Let's be honest. Tori really is era 4. It's just that "Are you the one" line to me? It's like it's
then that would be Devon as well, you know. And also,
right, if you
is a little like era 3, era 2-ish. I feel like era 3, rightfully so, really is that kind of connective tissue. They are kind of the glue and a little bit of like
it is. I mean, Jordan was on the Real World.
Era 3, I think. Yeah.
Because era 3 is Jordan, who's on the Real World Portland, and along with Avery and Nia and others.
Yeah.
But like that was like when I was like, gosh, in college, like right like the year after I got out of college, like 2008. Like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's hard too because Bananas and Cara have been on so many seasons with era 1 and 3. So they all kind of span a bunch of seasons, but I think that they did a good job with where they place everybody.
I mean,
but
it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just
I like it.
you saw in this episode, ladies, like era 3 and era 4 clearly they have alliances in those two eras. They're almost like their own. You know, you could call them either Thor. You gotta call them Thor for 3 and 4, or
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, they are together.
Era 3, even though they've played with some people on era 2, they're really more connected with era 4. Like era 3, Jordan and Laurel are close, and they've played with Bananas and Cara, but otherwise, you know, era 3 and 4 definitely makes sense to link up.
Yeah, and like John A being in era 3, like she doesn't like talk to
That's
half that damn group.
I feel like John H is from a different era than all those people. It's weird that she is of that same era.
She's almost feels like, I bet she's on the cusp of 2 and 3 because she premiered on the Real World Cancun. No, Real World. Was it Real World Cancun?
She premiered on Endurance. Okay.
That was not an MTV show. All right. That was a Saturday morning show on NBC or something like that. But yes, Endurance. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on.
Well, the Vacation Alliance.
Yeah, talk about it. Yeah, sorry. Go on. Yeah.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did not realize how prominent this alliance was until this episode. Like, I feel like it really wasn't that big of a theme until this episode. I was kind of like, oh, so did I miss that? Did they really say that a lot this season?
No. It's not even about that. They were dubbed that by an Instagram person. At least this is who's taking credit for it. Gamer Rev, whatever, Gamer something. Because she wrote on her social media today, like, "Oh, you're welcome for the nickname" or something along those lines, taking credit for I came up with Vacation Alliance and now you're using it. But this has been years in the making at this point that name has been thrown around at least a couple of years. So, but whatever. I
didn't realize that was that big of an element in the alliance.
Agreed. I didn't realize that the cast members were using it as well. I didn't realize it got that far into the pop culture reference book that it's in there. You know,
that everybody in the house was aware of it. You know, I didn't realize that's such a threat to a lot of people, and everyone's like, "Oh, we got to look out for this." Vacation Alliance. You know, John A made the statement: you have to fall in line with them. If you don't, then you're on the outskirts and you're, on the chopping block. I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that they were this almighty force in the house."
I think it's because a lot of it was when Big Brother came on, there was more with Fessy involved. It seems more like it because he's a big, strong force. So I think we got more of the dominating of the votes and all that stuff. It's good that Fessy's not there because there's two separate teams. They're less of like a little unit making all their decisions together. But I mean,
in terms of this season, and also
in terms of this season,
Josh in his confessional, he said, "Well, it's not our fault. We just keep dominating every season." And I was like, "Baby boy, Josh,
baby boy,
you're the one person in the Vacation Alliance not dominating." So
you're just lucky that people like you, and I'm
lucky
sure
to be here. You're just lucky
in real life. Obviously, friends like him, but I just don't get it. I
hope he says. I hope every every challenge, I hope he sends some winnings to that guy that got removed off the show and he got put back on the show after Josh got eliminated in that first season. Josh would never even be in our lives.
He's not even supposed to be here.
No.
But listen, he has his purpose on the show because we do love to talk about him.
It's
but I
true.
just mean in terms of him saying, we just
I
keep
wrote it down.
dominating. He
It's
just
absurd.
needs to check his place in that domination and just fact check that a little bit before.
You want me to read you verbatim what he said? He said, "Jealous they don't travel with us and that we dominate the challenge." And I wrote, "Not you, Josh."
Yeah, and I said, baby boy, just
baby boy.
Yeah,
but now, so that even extends further because then now Devon and Michelle are a couple, so that brings Michelle into that, and Michelle.
Oh, we're adding couples now. Couples get to come on vacation.
Now, so it's spread. That's why now it is so dominant, Jenna. To speak to that, it's not that those people have such massive numbers, but so say it's Josh, who cares realistically about his competitive skills, but then part of that alliance is Tori. These are the strong competitors, Devon. Casey, and then you get the Jordan connection, Laurel. So then all the other relationships filter into that and make it dominant. So I think now with Michelle and Devon, that's adding a Michelle, which adds an Olivia, which now adds a Theo. So it's just become you're not in the group.
But then it's not even really like an alliance anymore. And
it's era 3 and 4, and Theo and Olivia went on vacation with Josh and Naya. At least we saw that happen. So I mean, that's a big. That is, Pamela is right. It is growing.
It spreads. And
that's
it's still early
vacation.
Days.
Yeah, the vacation has gotten bigger.
Early days where when you have those massive numbers and you don't have to really worry about, you can pick off. You're not having to turn on yourself, on your own group that might be too big at this point. So, and Devon again was like, I'm not going to make any agreements without like my number one. So there's not that there's also other alliances, but there's the outskirts of the people that are less in the in. But as Rachel said, it's time to basically shit or get off the pot. Team 1 and Team 2 really need to work together to defeat some of these because they're being trampled on by.
They're being trampled on, and they're being trampled on, and producers are trying to help them out. And we'll get into that conspiracy coming up. Another teaser for you.
Oh, let's keep teasing it. And also when Nehemiah approaches Devon, I love that Devon is saying, I need to talk with Tori. He's not going to make the agreement for the both of them, and they're not even partners. They're just on the same team and both happen to be targets. So that's really awesome of him. They work together. That's why they're ride or dies. Love their friendship. But also, now we realize that Devon, without saying it, is basically saying like, I'm not going to strike a deal with era 2 because it's era 3 and era 4 for life right now. So he doesn't want to then teeter off, because that's pretty cool. You never really see people anymore try to oppose an agreement. They just are like, okay, cool. Yeah. Eat it up, and then they know they're safe and move on. But he's actually through, like, and
Devon's a smart
back this up, then I can't agree to it.
People don't bring enough acknowledgement to that. Devon's been playing that way since the beginning, where he's most of the time, almost hundreds of times, like, I'm going to be truthful and honest with you, and this is what I'm doing, and blah blah blah. And he held that truth tonight. It's like, Nehemiah, I'm not going to agree to anything without talking to Tori first. I love that. I mean, everyone gives me shit, especially you two ladies, about liking Devon so much, because I think he's very strategic. He's very strategic with his gameplay.
It's all right. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. He's earned it. I think he's got his due. I think people respect his gameplay at this point. I don't think he's like getting like undermined. I think he's
I think he's at the I think he's being graded. I think he's being graded appropriately. I think, ladies, let's give him a grade. We've been giving grades all season. I'm gonna go B+.
Wait, hold on a second. Have we been giving grades all season? When the fuck did that happen?
Jenna, it might have been an episode you weren't on, but Pamela and I did a whole. We were grading. Pamela, come on.
First episode.
I'm telling you, we did grades. We were giving out grades, Pamela.
When people are mad at us for not remembering like season 11, episode 8, I don't remember what you and I talked about last week. I don't remember. I have a very.
Are we grading Devon on his whole existence in the challenge or on this season?
We were getting. Oh, I know what you mean, Dan. Now
I was doing whole existence.
We're saying they're overall a B, they're not a champion. I agree with you, and now I remember. We were saying there's like C, like the C players. Like, I'm gonna call someone out and put them in the C. I don't know who. Maybe
Josh.
And then there's the B that you wish were A's, but they never quite.
Brad. Brad.
You always want to move into A, but unless they're, and then there's A, CT, Jordan, Tori, Cara.
Yeah.
There's the A players. Most people fall into the B.
And I was being more specific with a B plus. Yes.
Right,
Oh, you gave B plus to Devon?
I gave Devon a B plus.
Yeah,
right.
I'm thinking
he's not an A player. He's not
I'm
an A player.
thinking like an 86%, you know, or
that's
maybe
a solid B. That's a solid B though. That's a solid B.
Maybe 87 then? Maybe yeah.
I'm giving him a solid B too. I'm giving him an 86, 84, 86.
Is an 84 a B? 84 still a B though.
I think he's a B. He's not less than a B and he's not an A. So he's solidly in the B category. Yeah, I think he's a solid B. He's not a B minus.
Please tell us in the comments. Devon's great. Thank you so much. All right, moving on.
How good he is at lifting heavy things.
Speaking of Devon, real quick, did you notice that and you might not know this terminology, they Greeked out his beer can with a challenge sticker. Wasn't that cool?
That's funny. I love that.
And they used to Greek it out with just tape. That's how they used to do it in TV shows in the 90s too. If they didn't have the sponsor for Coke or whatever, they would just Greek it out or change.
I'm sorry, is that the term Greek it out?
It's called Greeking, yes. It's called Greeking, yeah.
We just use Greek letters. So for those people that don't know what we're talking about, anytime you can't show a logo or verbiage or whatever, they'll just replace it with Greek letters over it.
That's so
or
cool.
in my previous profession, storyboard art, so they'll say dialogue, it'll all just be Greek.
They can also just take out a letter. They can just take out a letter. So if the word is like Coca-Cola, they could take out like the O here and the L there and make it not look.
I always thought, remember back in the day when I used to just stick a big pixel blur on it, like when somebody was
They could, but they literally
blur it out.
It's really smart by the producers this season. They just have giant challenge logos that they just put over the beer can or whatever.
Yeah.
You might have been drinking a what's that? Not a seltzer. What's what are those? I don't drink vodka and like not Blue Moon, High Noon. What's a High Noon called? What's that called?
A High Noon
seltzer. Yeah.
Like a seltzer, right?
A vodka drink.
Yes.
Whatever.
I think that was what it was.
Okay.
All right, moving again. Jenna wants to move on. Okay, we're moving on. I got more though, Jen. I got one more thing.
Oh, give it to us.
Real quick. These pennies, these arm pennies they're wearing to represent the targets. Get rid of what is this crap? You get rid of this. Think of someone.
You know who the targets are.
Think of something. Make them wear a real penny, like in gym class, like a full-on cool. There's like a challenge on it. I don't know, something different.
Yeah.
I just don't like them.
Like I don't love the armband. Yeah, sorry. It's like
I don't like an armband either. Not a fan. Whatever.
It's funny. It's like a scarlet letter. It's like your target.
It is a scarlet letter. It is a scarlet letter.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, that was my last thing. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Fast pass.
Fast pass.
Did anyone remember the name of that? Anyone? Ladies?
No.
Okay,
absolutely not.
Just checking. All right.
Not a shot.
CT sailboat idea did not work at all. Oh my God. Era 1 is a friggin' mess.
They're my favorite though. Like I'm living for Tina in this challenge. I'm living for the hysteria of Era 1. They're out of shape. They're cranky. They're yelling at each other. They all won't listen to each other.
They're losing players left and right as well, which is a problem.
Oh my God.
It is
incredible.
a problem.
Yeah. It's really amazing to watch.
And Tina, like, I don't know who one of you brought this up in an earlier episode about how Tina got in shape through Rachel's workout stuff. Yeah. She looks great.
She looks amazing.
She looks great.
When I say everyone is out of shape, I mean Darrell's like, my back hurts.
Yeah. No, I know.
Gotta sit down.
Right. They're super old people, but they're not in there. They're like my dog who's now 17, and now we have the new cat who's 1. Now, like you see the difference very starkly. It's like Carter and Hope, the new cat. Like the old boy is just he's still with it, but he's hunchy and he's and then the new one's like, oh.
I love their passion so much because they want to win so bad and they've all been in this game for so long and are all so good. But together in this generation, maybe it is their older age, something is not clicking with them on every single challenge. They cannot get it done. But their passion and the way that they communicate is always like so entertaining to watch.
Well, when these people were coming up, like Bananas has spanned and CT, I think, who could both be 1 and 2 and 3 in every era. When most of the Era 1 people, when they were coming up, it was literally like, get wasted, show up the next day, and as a team, like hump an ice cube and see who humps at the back. Like there weren't Olympians. Like Tori entered in a different game. Like there's a different
And
sort
like
of
Emily and Cara, they're
exactly.
CrossFitters. You know, Jordan is like a triathlon runner, like is
I
in
mean, they do have Rachel.
I think Era One is
Rachel,
fit.
yeah.
It's not that, but the game has changed over the course of
Yes.
40 years.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, now that it's season 40, there's more competition, there's more strategy, there's more social, there's more serious
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
going.
they're always used to strategy though. They're all great at it. I think that, well, maybe not all. I don't know.
It used to
It's
be
not
who
working
got
together.
into a fight the night before. All right, you made a spectacle of yourself. You're on the block today, and then we all
Yeah.
vote in a room.
Well, okay, Pam, you make some excellent points here, so I'll give you another point to go with you here. The way that Tina and CT fought and then worked it out in 2 seconds, like, look, I'm not
Love
mad at
it.
you. I'm just
I love
frustrated we didn't
that.
win. Same, me too. Boom, best
It
friends
was
again.
so great and sibling like,
It's
brother and
amazing.
sister. I love it. Yeah, it was
It-
so cute because they each had to say their piece and then they made up and they
That was it.
understood the bigger goal, you know?
There'll
Very
be no
Twitter. I'm
There'll be no
sorry.
Twitter bitching. They'll like all these new kids.
Right.
There'll be no
And
Instagram
they love, and
posts
they
and
just, it's all love too. They
yep.
just because they got love for each other. Yeah, and we got to give credit to Era 4. So I guess it's like the contrast between the Era 1 and the Era 4. Do we blame it maybe on one, the fitness level and the, you know, the less soreness, less creakiness, less backaches of Era 4 that they got it done so quickly?
I guess
Maybe
I honestly
also-
think they all had to go through the same area, right? Like there was no like each had their own lane. So if someone gets ahead of you to start, let's just be real here. How the F are you going to pass them up if
Yeah.
you can't? There wasn't really enough room. There's only and those trees were all randomly placed. It's not like they like built this thing for it. It was really random. By the way, I loved it. It felt very old school to me. And obviously, I knew it was going to cause a lot of drama because you cannot have too many chefs in the kitchen. Like, that's pure, it's going to cause the drama. But like, there was no basis for where these trees were separated apart. So if someone found a good lane, unless you're following them and staying directly behind them, you're trying to find other ways to cross them. But if the trees are closer together, you're screwed. Like,
Yeah.
it was a sketchy challenge, but
I loved it. I
yeah.
loved the creativity because, like you're saying, it's like, did they cut trees down to make these lanes? Did they find this location? They were like, oh, we can work with this. This is what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. I thought it was really cool
Yeah.
from that perspective, you know, really creative. And yeah, credit to Era 4. They killed it. Also, Era 2, until Laurel decided to mess things up, they looked like a well-oiled machine too. Like they had the strategy down. Like they knew, okay, here comes the next branch on the left side. Let's twist right, let's twist left. Like they were moving really fluidly. I thought that they were going to catch up, and then I forgot, oh yeah, Laurel's going to sabotage this whole thing.
Let me ask about this. Oh, Pam, you go first, then I have a question.
So as Laurel said, which I'm not hating on Laurel for this. She said in the episode tonight, Emily is a threat. I don't want her in the end. I want her gone. As Jordan said a few episodes ago, you have to get there, bitch. Like, Laurel, you can't fucking throw your own team under the bus repeatedly and expect to not be thrown in. Like, it's just not going to work that way.
And this is exactly what I was going to say, Pam. But I don't get why she wants to get rid of Emily. First of all, it's another person on your team that can either be nominated, or if no one wants to nominate, they can get just chosen to go in. If you're the only good person left in, then at the end, Laurel's like, oh, woe is me. I'm like, you were doing it to yourself. Now Emily's gone. Now it's another way for you to get voted down there. And I'm confused.
What was you? What about what was Emily? Like, you're literally sabotaging her, and you don't expect that karma to come right back at you.
Right.
Like,
and then you're gonna
take the game.
If you make it to the end, though,
you're selfish. You're not a team. You're not.
If you make it to the end and she still gets to be on your team, that's helping you. That's not gonna hurt you. Laurel doesn't make any sense. Now, if they get separated at the end, maybe it means something. But I'm sorry, I agree with what you said, Pamela. You got to get there first. You don't just need to be in the championship after a preseason football game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, and that's why I think Laurel's such a dumb, bully, meanie jerk. But that's why it's frustrating, because it's not even like a good strategy. I'm sabotaging you. It's like, what's wrong with you, Laurel?
Look, so Laurel does get what she wants, right? Emily goes home tonight, but then when they choose her to go down, because obviously Emily can't go down there 2 nights in a row. So no matter what, she says the line, she goes, I can't catch a break, which I've mentioned earlier in the episode. Well, now you're really not going to catch any breaks. It's you who's left on that team of Era 2. It's
and it's
her
also
and
like,
Avery.
get what you
No,
put out. And also
whatever.
she's a threat, so
Aviv,
that's the main reason why she's gonna keep going.
Aviv. Yeah.
Aviv,
Everyone's
yeah,
gonna be choosing
and
Laurel over
Cara,
Aviv
yeah,
any day of the goddamn week too, Pam, right? So like, Laurel, what are you
yeah.
doing? Like,
No,
well,
I completely agree with you guys too. It's like she's doing too much. Like CT was saying, you can't overdo it. She's already trying to expect what the producers are gonna twist up the show. You know, she's already anticipating that maybe this is gonna be a solo game or somehow they're gonna break off into pairs or something. But in
right.
my head, it's like you have no clarity on that. Like you have no actual evidence that that is going to happen.
But she keeps saying it
So
like it's
it's
fact.
an
It's weird.
era themed, like it's fact, exactly. So I don't know, do they know something we don't know? But
so
she's really
we know
predicting
it's
this
an
already.
individual
Eras. Hmm?
winner. We know it's an individual
We
winner,
don't know
right?
that.
Laurel is.
We don't.
No,
Who
what do you
said
mean we
that?
don't know that?
Okay. So they don't know that though. They
Yes,
think the
they
whole
do.
no, because I swore it was like they've been voting to see who could be the. I think what it's going to be is the team's going to win, and then TJ's going to break it to everybody, basically that only one person gets to win on
No,
that team. You're
they
telling me
know that. That's
Okay,
why
then
Jordan
that's
had that.
fine.
You have to get there
maybe
when
that's why
Julie was
Laurel's
saying,
then that's why
Then that's
Laurel's being
why.
that
Okay.
way. If Laurel knows that it's an
I
individual
get
win,
it. It's just,
Yeah.
I do, that's what I was saying. It's not totally stupid to be like, I don't want to see you in a final, but it's too soon to be destroying your team, to be
The way
imploding
you
your
get
own
there, yeah.
team,
I was
because
Season.
your own team is going to vote you in if you throw missions like she very obviously did.
Yeah.
Like, it's, and pick fights, but like, it's,
she's
she's like like a self-defeating. It's one of those people that like votes against their own interest. It's like, Laurel, you're Jenna, you said it simply. She's doing too much. It's like, stop trying to take down the strong girls in your team. Why don't you start by taking down the strong girls in other teams then?
Right.
If that's your goal, is to not compete against them in the end, and then duke it out if you get there. But
Yeah.
like,
yeah, she's
if
got
you're making enemies of everybody, you're not going to get there, and
she's
you're throwing shit for your team. You're going to be the
and like who's like on her team now? It's Cara, her, and Aviv. Avery's on season on era 3, so she's not even there. So it's those three, right? Now, are Cara and Aviv ever going to be like, oh, let me nominate myself to save Laurel this week after she's been so great to everyone else? No. So now no one's even going to want to nominate on that team. Laurel's like burning bridges every which way because at least if she got along with everyone on our team or at least pretended to, other people might nominate so she doesn't have to go down there and have the woe is me moment like she just did tonight with her and Bananas. Very interesting choices by Laurel. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with them at all. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they drew the line in episode 1 when Cara was like, well, do you guys want to team up and work together this season? And they were like, no, you're going in. And I mean, granted, you could absolutely make the argument that like Cara was just begging anything that she could give, you know, like she was just kind of begging and giving them any option to maybe not go into elimination. You could see it that way, but she also said, hey, we're all strong. Let's just team up. Let's work together. Finally, I'll give you the olive branch. And they didn't take it. So yeah, I mean, if Laurel's gonna kind of establish that, then to your guys' point, no one's gonna have her back on her own era. She's already
yeah.
made that line. Like it's from day one.
These Bananas, in his defense, really, at least from what we saw, was a team leader. He's a good strategizer. Dare I say, from what they showed back to era 1, CT for once was wrong and Tina was right. Like the strategy CT was suggesting about lifting it up was not going to work. And Tina was right. It was a sort of like moving a couch into a door, into an apartment where you're, what was she saying? Like shimmy and shake or something?
Bob and weave.
Bob and
and
weave, bitch.
Bob and
and
weave. It's
weave.
true. You're just sort of angling this thing. Work
That's gonna be
smarter,
a
not
great
harder.
quote.
Where CT was trying to tell them to lift it up above. It's like, no, you're
Listen,
not
I
going to do
get
that.
where his mind was at that point, but yeah, the whole theme of gravity didn't work in his favor.
No, and I'm wondering if it would hit branches. That thing went pretty damn high. There's got to be some branches sticking out of. I know they might be higher up, but like, there's got to be some branches sticking out eventually.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like it would be the loophole, like a riddle, like a trick question, and the answer would be, oh, we'll put it vertical.
Right.
No, yeah.
Right. Like that. How do you turn these matches into a box or something? Or how do you, I
Yeah,
don't,
you know,
something
maybe
where
it's
it's
not like, oh, this is how we crack the code. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
No,
what?
it was too.
Also, is the funny irony of this challenge is that Era 4 wins and Josh chose not to volunteer because he was scared that they were going to lose to
That's
go
funny.
against CT. He ended up not even being in a position of vulnerability. So it was just like, Oh, it's just funny.
So CT and Tina lose. So everyone loses. They're going down there into the arena. And Devon says this, that CT is the greatest challenger of all time. And I wanted to ask you ladies that same question. Do you agree with Devon's assessment?
One of them for sure. There's definitely, he's certainly an intimidator, and I would not want to go against CT.
Yeah, that's a hard question because he just said of all time. He didn't say like top 3, one of the best. He said of all time. And I mean, I can make that argument and I can agree, but also, you know, Johnny Bananas has more final wins,
right?
You know,
so we can all make the argument for CT, and let me make another argument on top of that. So if I want to say, not only is the greatest challenger of all time, I also think that he also brought a lot of non-challenge stuff to show. His relationship with Diem, all the times where he got mad and got kicked off the show and got into fights, his growth as a human being on the show. So I would also add that to like entertainment value.
Like the most iconic.
Is through the roof.
Yeah.
So I also want to add that in for him as well, to give him that if I want to fight for him being the greatest of all time.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is like they are getting old, which is sad that we're seeing, but I never want them off the show. Like when CT finally stops coming back, it's gonna be such a loss for the show. Like
and that's gonna be when we get to our mailbag part of the episode. I'll tease some more stuff. That's one of the comments that I pulled up because I think it's interesting what this commenter said, and I agree with it. But I won't say what it is. Mailbag coming up later.
I think I'm comfortable with the label of CT as the greatest challenger of all time, but I could make arguments for other people, but really solidly only 1 or 2. So I think he's definitely top 3.
Yeah. Well, you know what is crazy is everybody is beatable in a way. Like we have seen CT lose. Even
can we get into the conspiracy now
tonight? But you know, we've seen him lose to Jay. We've also seen Bananas, a person never wants to go see, lose in eliminations. So everybody,
and this elimination,
but
we talk about the eliminations being sketchy or whatever you want to call them,
be a crapshoot,
risky. This one was this was a crapshoot tonight, but we'll get into it. We're so close. We're so close to getting into it. We're so close to getting to it. Do you want to talk about the round table chamber at all?
I do a little bit, just because I actually feel bad for Nehemiah. Talk about doing too much. He tried to go make up a lie that Devon approached him about a deal. He tried to plant a seed in Kylan and Olivia's mind that, hey, people are cutting deals in this house. Other people are cutting deals in this house. And it blew up in his face. And again, I feel like we're talking highly of Devon this episode, but it was really good. It was right there, and he used it in his presentation and be like, cutting deals. Talk about someone who tried to cut a deal with me before we came in here.
Yeah,
so.
And this is why Nehemiah is a C player. He's a C. I mean, he's always been a C. He's never not going to be a C until he does something. He won't. I don't think he's ever going to change it. He's been doing it for too long. And yeah, great. Okay, he beat CT tonight, and we can dive. Oh, he's a C plus now. No, he's still a C. We'll talk about that in a second. Not that his was rigged or anything, but I don't. That challenge was
rigged. But I think it was like almost like Cara and Rachel. It becomes luck almost at a certain.
Well,
this one wasn't as bad. This one was not as bad as that one. But
it wasn't as bad. But I'm not like, wow, he took CT down. Like I don't feel like, wow, we better watch out for Nehemiah now.
Yeah, because of the playing field being so even. Do we want to talk about things before the elimination, or are we getting into it?
Well, let's talk about so Nehemiah, he messed up there. I liked that Olivia brought up the vacation alliance, and like, I want to know if this is really a thing I need to be concerned about. And I liked Devon's deflection, because they're all like, oh yeah, that's real. Like, we're good friends out of here. Like the Corey and Devon say, oh yes, the vacation alliance is real. We hang out, we're friends. And then he's like, this is an unfair accusation in the time room.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Elimination, the arena. All right, here we go. All right. So it's called Getting Hammered. Tina makes a joke. That was me last night. That was great.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
Before we get to the conspiracy, I wrote down, the first thing I wrote down was, oh my God, here comes an equalizer, because they know damn well Emily or Tina could never beat Emily in something physical or endurance. Yes, Tina's in better shape, but I'm sorry, I just watched a video this week alone of Emily kickboxing or punching some type of punching bag. This girl, there's no way she is shredded, right, Pam? So
Yes, I was like,
I already wrote.
Like,
I already wrote.
fat.
I wrote down at the
It's
beginning.
muscle.
Producers are trying to save Era One here. They're already trying to do it. And then when the elimination starts, and Pam, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but it looks like Jenna and I did. I'm pretty sure Tina just blew on her board and all the nails just fell off.
No, truly the wind blew. Like someone,
Emily
someone
was trying
blew
to
a birthday candle.
Bananas is like, just do what she did. And she's like, it doesn't work that way.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
you
Because
just
what?
break them out with your hammer, like,
God.
Here's
like
the
they fell like
conspiracy.
machine guns. That's what Emily said. Like they fell like machine gun bullets. Like
I think the producers realized they only have 2 girls left on Era One, and if they lose Tina, then all they have is Rachel, which would mean every episode Rachel is going to be a target no matter what, and if she wins, she has to literally put herself back in as a target because there's no one opposite her to do that. So they were like, okay, how can we do this? And this is how they did it. They tapped Tina's nail in one time. They tapped Emily's nail in maybe 3 times or even 2 times to not allow Tina. Yeah, she works whatever. She used the claw of the hammer. I get it, but then she started using the side of the hammer, and they just fell out. It was it's Bananas or someone labeled it. Bananas and Emily had an interview today or whenever it was. They posted it today. They called it like Nailgate. So there you go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I looked at all this after, like, to see if I said, am I the only one that feels this way? So I had to go and look, and everyone else saying the same stuff. I'm like, thank God the conspiracies are not just me. There's just, you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's so funny that you're saying that because I felt the exact same way. I thought it was so obviously rigged. I thought it was manipulated. I couldn't believe it. Like jaw-droppingly obvious. Like I was like, is this a joke? Like she just tried to do the same exact thing Tina did. Tina could have done it with her hand and she didn't even need the hammer. They just fell out. So then I remembered again thinking, am I crazy? I don't want to be this person that believes in a conspiracy theory. But then I remember
I don't want to be Dan is what she's saying, Pamela. I don't want to be
exactly. Never want to be Dan. No. And then I remember that Theo wrote something that was in this article. I think he wrote it on X. I don't want to call it X. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter. Yeah.
It's Twitter. So he wrote after the Derek Horacio episode and that sketchy elimination. He said, if you think Derek and Horacio's elimination is controversial, boy, there's more of that to come. That's fact. So I was like, so yeah, even the cast members think it's sketchy. It's like so obvious. How could you do it that way?
Well, that's where I was like, boy, we really must remember it's a TV show and that they have to do things.
That sucks though, Pam, right? That sucks.
Yes.
Like at least I get it's a TV show and things are going to be manipulated, but that's over the line to me. That's ridiculous.
It sucks for real competitors like Emily, who is like has a 0-0 elimination record and now lost to Tina because Tina's nails fell out like coins in a slot when you hit the jackpot. Like that's not fair to Emily's record. Like you can't have it both ways where they want us to take it seriously as a sport, but then also do that. It's like,
no, yeah.
You can either have us be entertained and it's a TV show, but that wasn't even like like a thinly veiled, like, oh, it was just one of those really weird, stupid ones where it was up to nothing. Tina's fell out like bad teeth.
Yeah, literally. It was an insult to viewers.
Yeah.
Yep. And then producers put the nails in for the guys at the same 2 hits, 3 hits in, whatever it was, because they both, what I'm thinking here is they both have additional guys on those teams. Derek and Darrell, there's 2 guys left there. And then on the Nehemiah side, you got Derek, Ryan, Bananas, right? That's them. So there's plenty of other guys, but they had to manipulate it for Tina to win because they couldn't have only one girl left in Era One because then it doesn't make, then the targeting thing, their idea is totally ruined because Rachel has to go down there every episode and then she still has to go, even if she wins, her reward is going back in and being another target every week. It can't have it. There it is.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Tina because I love her too. Again, this is one of those eliminations where it's hard for me to find somebody to root for because you love a lot of people and you might love someone more, but you don't want to see the other person go. So I kind of felt that way where it's like, oh, I enjoy Tina so much. But when you see just the difference in their boards and Emily's face, you feel so bad. She's like, What?
So, and here's the best part.
Emily
tried to pull. She's like, well, if hers are falling out, I must just be able to pull them out. She tries to pull them out, and those things are not budging.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel so bad for her. It feels like, wow, so disrespectful. Like, damn, you guys really didn't even like give me a shot to stay in the game.
Yeah.
You manipulated this. I don't think the guys felt that way though. I felt like the guys board were even.
They were equal. I think the guys were equal as well, because like I said, there's plenty of guys on each team, no matter what. So it wasn't, but the girls on that side are just lacking, and they needed to keep another person around.
The thing is, I obviously on surface level, CT versus Nehemiah, we all know who we're picking. Emily versus Tina, we all know who we're picking. So I understand the equalizer, but they could have done something different, you know? I mean, even without rigging the boards.
Well, don't rig the board then. I don't mind if you want to have an elimination like this, that's fine, but don't rig the board.
Yeah, I agree actually. I'm taking back what I said. This still would have been a good enough elimination as if it was fair equipment. Yeah.
Like Nehemiah won. It's enough of an equalizer of an elimination that it could be anybody's game. You could lose a nail. I mean, anything could happen there.
And this is weird to me. Like, producers, you do realize you have CT on going against Nehemiah. How about we pick a game where CT might have an advantage here instead of a crapshoot game? Because I'm sorry, but what are fans going to want to see more of? Come on, CT or Nehemiah? Like, what are we doing here?
I think that Nehemiah beat CT fair and square.
I do. No, I'm not. I'm not. You're right.
I know you're not discrediting him. I know you're saying like you should give CT a game that's better for him.
Come on, what are we doing here?
That's your biased view as a viewer. Like you can't, Nehemiah could still compete in the game. What I think is incredible is that it actually did feel like it leaned towards CT because apparently he has this backstory of being blue collar and working construction. Okay, my husband is a general contractor, and he was like, "There's no fucking way." Do you see him holding that hammer?
Thank you. Like I want to bring some stuff about CT real quick.
Family was though. CT didn't say he was. He said he grew up in a blue collar family.
No, someone else said. He said he did construction his whole life. Someone said he did construction his whole life. Now he's been on.
It doesn't mean your son's gonna know. Yeah, like.
But time out. CT's been. The first thing you learn in construction is how to hammer a friggin' nail in, all right? I know how to hammer a nail in. Here's the point, though.
Really worked. I think CT said I grew up around, or I'm from a blue. I don't think he's claiming to have been.
Someone else said it.
He worked in it. Somebody else said it.
But also, he's been on reality TV for 20 years now. CT is not doing construction anymore for 20 years. I'm not buying into this. He did it when he was maybe 16. What do we do for what summer?
Also, I don't know if the hammers, I don't know. Maybe they were like janky ass hammers too, or the nails felt weird. We also don't know what the equipment felt like, or you're just trying to get it done quickly.
At a point though, that he doesn't know how to hit. It's not like I'm a flautist, and if I'm like holding a flute like this, it's like, no, you've never been to an orchestra practice.
That's a great analogy. But what's so funny is seeing their different strategies and the way that they're working on these boards, because CT is just trying to muscle and is trying to like Godzilla this board. He's just like, me bring down nails. And you see Nehemiah just like pluck, like being so laser focused on using the tool, plucking out the nails, and CT's just trying to like be a toddler and shuffle all of the game pieces down. It's crazy Nehemiah won, and it's like jaw dropping. CT's face was a jaw dropper. It's
when he saw Nehemiah running, he was like,
he couldn't believe it. It was kind of sad. Yeah.
So it's not jaw dropping to me, because honestly, I think this is an equalizer game to me. So when I was rooting for CT, and I'm upset he didn't win. But I knew going into that was going to be anybody's game. I just did, and it sucks.
But CT is not just brawn. Like, sure, he's lost before, like in that tie, not it with Jay. So, like I said, everybody can be beatable in a certain situation, but he's smart too. He's strategic. He's played this game. He's savvy. Like
there's limited strategies when it comes to taking out. You literally have to remove 100 nails and put 100 nails in. What kind of strategy is?
Be faster is the strategy.
Faster, right? That's not a strategy. Again, that's not.
Hammer the nail correctly. Use the hammer correctly.
At least with Horacio and Derek's was really close and fun to watch. This was just stupid with the Rachel or Tina and Emily. And sorry, I'm circling back to Emily, but I felt bad for her because you saw her trying everything and really doing it and not getting there. And Tina.
It wasn't her. I don't think it was.
I have maybe a a theory of the producers watching this being like, oh shit, that was really obvious. Like, what are we gonna do now? We can't reset it. The cast members are gonna tell everybody. Like,
they can
maybe
never.
they did want to make it easier for Tina, but did not think it was gonna be like that. They should have just done it for like 10 nails. Did they have to do every nail on the board?
But here's the thing too. Like, it can never be proven though. We can never prove it either.
Yeah.
So and it's gonna go in that folklore of the challenge, just like a million other things that we've said are conspiracies. So yeah.
Well, my conspiracy on top of a conspiracy on top of a conspiracy is that the challenge producers like it. They're probably like that. The controversy is good for them. That it makes people watch the show. It's everyone talking about it.
As Kyrie Irving said one time, it's all about the likes and clicks. We go with the likes and clicks, and that's what we want. And we're getting more. No one's talking about the challenge this week. If there was no, I mean, they are a little bit, but not the controversy to this degree. Everyone's talking. They're calling it Nailgate on that hashtag Nailgate that's going on Instagram. The producers, like you said, are probably loving this crap.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, well, spicy tea. But
let's talk. There's a few more things we got to talk about before we get to mailbag.
The target,
Tina Nehemiah.
Yeah, the good thing about Nehemiah winning is he's like, fuck it, I'm just taking no prisoners with this. I'm gonna say what I want.
I think CT would have done it too, though, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so too. You're right, but it's good. I like seeing Nehemiah do it because he isn't a CT where we've seen CT kind of just do whatever he wants and not care about consequences. Maybe like somebody else who won wouldn't, and they would want the volunteers, but I'm glad to see Nehemiah did not take that route, and he called Laurel right out. And he also said, hey, error 3, anybody want to volunteer? And Jenna was like, I'm not volunteering. And Nehemiah was like, okay, Jenna.
Yeah.
Which it was so hysterical. She blew up her game right there. She should have just volunteered, but how would she, I think.
And that's, but that's the producers doing a really good job with having the footage from earlier, whenever it was taped. It could have been taped 3 episodes ago, who knows? But they put it in this episode of her and CT talking, and how she was concerned about, I don't want to ever nominate myself. And then using that footage for tonight's episode, again, a setup and a payoff. We got it. Yeah. Producers are doing better with the editing for sure, except for eliminations, of course. Not so good at the editing.
Well, the editing and also, the faulty equipment, the questionable. Very questionable.
Like also an old-fashioned time clock. Like it took you this many seconds to do 100. It took you.
They got rid of that years ago. They don't want to do that anymore.
I would love to know how long it really took.
It's a TV show, like we said.
I know. I feel like it took Tina 13 seconds and Emily like 10 minutes. So it's like if you showed that, it'd be too ridiculous.
Yep.
You can edit things to look.
Always want that bird's eye camera of a challenge. Can we also see just like the raw, just like full footage of it, not the editing?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I like it. Sad to see CT go, and I'm not saying Nehemiah doesn't deserve it, but I feel like CT was moderately checked out. He was like, I guess I lost. Like he didn't seem too bummed about it. It's like later Gators,
He handled it well. I think he was just, he had to give it to Nehemiah. He was like, shit, you beat me. That's
Yeah. It's not like it was that Brad elimination with him where he ripped off the flag instead of pulling off the carabiner, and then Brad got to win. That's some CT. That's some old. And see, another reason, even when CT loses, entertainment value through the roof. There you go. All right.
Mailbag?
Did you all? Well, real quick though, did you see next on the challenge? Did you girls watch this?
Oh shoot, did I?
I didn't.
I won't tell you then.
I did.
Okay, don't tell you.
There's something crazy that
give spoilers. Don't tell.
I won't say it, but there's something huge that happens, and during the challenge, and I'm like, holy crap! I wonder if this is really real or if it's fake. But holy crap!
Oh wait, yes, I did. You're right, I did. I did actually see it.
Do you think it's real or not? I don't think he. I think
it's real to a degree. I think it might be being dramatized. But
do you think it's really full on, or do you think it's like he'll be back? Pam, do you want to know or not?
Now, yes.
Derek is screaming out that he broke his leg during the daily challenge.
They better not have sent Horacio home for Derek to break his leg the next week.
No, what if Horacio comes back?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, and taking the place of Derek will be, I feel like they always in a teaser.
Maybe he comes back.
A big deal. Yeah, CT, right? Don't get on that plane.
All right. Anyways, mailbag.
Like blow things out of proportion.
All right, but I mean,
makes me want to wag my tail, man.
Do you want to go first, Jenna?
I mean,
I'll go first. Mine is okay. So, talking about era 4, and this person wrote, "I'm worried about the challenge because you brought it up, Jenna, too. You're like, well, I'm really gonna be sad when CT doesn't come back again. It's gonna do, and eventually these people cannot come back. They're gonna eventually not come back. So, sorry, it's Lisa Mack 2403. I want to give her credit. I'm worried about the challenge. I'm assuming Era 4 is the future, and there's no one I find interesting in Era 4. The only person I really liked was Horacio, and he says he's not coming back. We all heard about that. I'll skip down a little bit. And she wrote, who's going to be great in Era 4? Josh, Kyland? I don't see it. And I was thinking the same, like, you got it. My whole thought is do a freaking fresh meat episode with people that aren't on reality TV. Really scout them, not just because they already have 1 million Instagram followers. Get it because they'd be a good reality star. Like, why can't we go? What are we doing? Like, that is the proof is in the pudding, and you're not doing it. Damn it! You're just taking people that have. Oh, I have 1 million Instagram followers. That means I'm gonna be good TV. Oh, then Casey must be the best reality star I've ever seen. Oh wait, no, she's not. Like, get someone that's good TV. But anyways. That's why the challenge thrived, because that's what they used to do. They were hired for the real world, which was a truly dramatic, like, drama show where they needed people that would cause drama. And then if they were athletic, great, that worked out for them later in the challenge. But now they're basing it purely on how many TikTok likes did you get last week? Like, who cares?
I think there's going to be a renaissance of casting. I do think the next thing that they'll bring in
social media is way too powerful.
They tried with the international stars and the influencers
who had followers already, though.
It's like, right, but we didn't.
I think we're in the world of it's hard for people to subscribe to brand new people. Like, they like their influencers. They like, people.
It's also because ratings are down for the challenge every year. They're getting worse and worse, most likely. And they're like, we need to bring in popular people from different places. They need to bring in more audience. Let's be real.
That didn't work. Nobody liked those form. I don't think anyone in the fandom
then they can't go back to a fresh meat, because then they're going to be really afraid they're not going to get to bring in more. They're just going to have the original challenge fans.
I feel like life is also different in terms of TV ratings. Like, people are so busy, and there's so many streaming platforms. There's so many things to watch. I feel like, MTV still on cable, which is not that many people have anymore. And you have to buy a subscription to something, you would need Paramount Plus, or you need whatever to watch it. And that probably has something to do with it too.
I mean, look, and also podcasts too. Podcasts have been taking off for years now. People are watching us now. They might be missing out. Dude, laugh all you want, Jenna. This is funny. They might miss out on a 30-minute sitcom that they regularly watch to listen to us. Think about it. They're saying
literally there's so many shows.
Way too much. It's hard to compete.
The Bravo, like all the housewife shows, I do not watch.
Okay.
Not watch the new Mormon Housewives. I like.
We started on Hulu. Stacey and I started.
I can't.
It's not
I even
that great.
watch it, and I hate them all so much. Like secondhand, because I listen. There's these two guys that are so funny. I'll shout out to it's called Watch What Crappens. So they have like a snarky take on Watch What Happened, the Bravo thing, where they cover all this. I've never watched any episode. I'll listen to them, and I come home and I'd rather listen to Ben and Ronnie and Watch What Crappens than watch TV. I'm like, hear what Ben and Ronnie have to say.
Well, that's what I meant by podcasts and stuff. Even YouTube, even like YouTube stuff. Like, people want to watch YouTube.
They're more entertaining to me than the show itself is like so stupid, but hearing someone make fun of it is fun. Like, I don't have the bandwidth to watch these girls be like, what the fuck? Apparently they're Mormon, so they don't say what the fuck. They go, what the fuck?
Amazing.
Anyways, Jenna, let's move on to yours.
My mailbag is Harrison C 5614, because this is a very personal one directed towards me.
Really?
The question is, did Jenna's mom ever join the Patreon? And I love this so much. This is such a good throwback. How funny that you were paying attention to that, because also how ridiculously, I hope my mom is listening, because she listens to the YouTube show, guys, because it's free.
Yeah.
But how ridiculously funny that somebody's mother would not pay the $1 that it costs to watch our Patreon. $1 single dollar. Like, why would, I'm not paying for that. Paying for what? $1?
$1.
Let's hashtag Jenna's mom better join Patreon. We should start Patreon again.
No, my mom, in my true mom's fashion, I wish you knew her. She did not join the Patreon.
God, and she like knows about the challenge, so she would have enjoyed it.
Actually, yes, thank you for saying that, because I meant to integrate that into something else that was relevant with my mom. What I just read about Theo, I got tipped off about that from my mom, because she's showing me the video of Horacio's live sitting next to me, like pulling up Reddit. I'm like, okay, Reddit girl, like, diving deep into the challenge world. Yeah. So I also have a second one just because that one was like a very just kind of not that challenge oriented. 23 Philly Cheese says, I feel like y'all secretly hate all challenge knowledge we comment. I'm sure the commenters will tell us below with the emoji that's like this.
It's me. Yeah,
I love it. I think that's so funny.
No, I love it. I
like
absolutely
it.
I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't like when they call us out on something that we corrected quick. Like we'll say something and then we'll correct it and then they'll still write it in there. I'm like, did you not hear us correct what we said? But that's fine. It is what it is.
No, it's so funny.
I'm happy. Isn't it nice that people actually care enough to call us out? Like
Yeah.
they like listen, like, oh man, I gotta call Dan out. Like you care enough about what I had to say that was wrong. Like you couldn't just let it go. Great. Comment below. We had 159 comments 2 weeks ago. Might be a new record for us. Absolutely fantastic. The fact that we're getting 3,000, even 3,000 views a week is fantastic. Slowly but surely we are growing. I mean, when we started this, and I was trying to do the math, like when's going to be like our like 100th episode or 200th episode. We have like over 200 videos. Like, yeah, we're already past that. Like, I'm like, whoops.
These seasons have like 50 episodes a season. So we've like knocked out 100 probably in 2 seasons.
And I've moved a lot of because now we're not doing Patreon. Most of the Patreon stuff, a lot of it I didn't pull over because it was like Big Brother. Who's going to want to hear something from Big Brother from 3 seasons ago? But some of the stuff I brought over here just because now we're focused on just the YouTube stuff. But
yeah, thank God, I'll tell my mom.
Tell your mom that there's a few Patreon things I pulled over just for fun, but most of the stuff is just dead on Patreon. So if you ever want to know what Big Brother season did we cover? Big Brother 24, Pam?
I don't remember.
Pam
yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well, that one's on Patreon. So there you go.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thanks, Mom, for watching.
Yeah, thanks, Jenna's mom. And nope, I forgot. Oh, the thing I am the most proud of that we've ever done in our life. So if you're like new to the challenge and new to listening to us, we did our own version of a final. And if you haven't seen it, we had it on Patreon. It's a video of me, Jenna, and Dan competing in a final that we did after War of the World. So there's specific references.
You were most proud of this?
The thing in my life I'm most proud of.
Yeah, that tracks. It is.
Jenna, Pamela, I don't want to give away what happens, but I believe you didn't complete the final as well, though. So
I'm not saying I'm proud of my victory. I'm saying I'm proud of the video, the challenge, the enactment that we made.
She did better than David Punk Rock Christopher.
That's right, David Punk Rock Christopher. We're calling you out.
He didn't even
show up.
Yeah,
so
and
he quit.
It's like, what do you want to like? What do we want to say? Who's going to remember this anyways? But for anybody that used to watch us at AfterBuzz, we all took time out. It was a Saturday morning. We all made so much fun. It was so much fun. We all made plans to meet up and do a fake challenge run and tape it and all that stuff. We all agreed to be there, including David Punk Rock Christopher, and then he just doesn't show up. What is that? And same like when we did Halloween and same for Halloween costumes. We all agreed to dress up for Halloween, and then we had to find things in the studio he could put on to pretend to be Joss because he didn't show up with anything.
We did really good, actually. We did a really good job.
But like all of the rest of us like went out of our way to like create these costumes. Like, come on, dude. Anyway,
we'll have to throw back the costume pictures on Instagram because me and you did it one year, Dan, too. I think Jenna
just you and I had a year. I don't know if Jenna,
Emmanuel.
I was Emmanuel and you were
me.
Yeah. That was I thought we looked pretty good. Yeah.
We did pretty good.
I was able to find that video, right? I sent it to you guys recently.
What video?
Yes. The challenge thing. So it was once on a thing. You did send it to me. You
have it. You have it, Jenna. You have it somewhere.
I know. I want to make sure it's not lost. Oh, I think I put it on my Dropbox because I am not trying to lose.
We could why don't we just post it to our YouTube channel too?
Post it to our YouTube channel
because it's a little embarrassing.
Oh, I don't care.
So great. The greatest thing.
I mean, that's kind of the joke of it to be. I mean, I embarrass myself every week on this show, so that's not going to bother me.
It's so great.
And I think when we say, they'll tell us in the comments, a lot of it is gaps in our knowledge since there's been 40 seasons, endless spin-offs. I can't even find it when I go to Amazon, to my MTV subscriptions and put the challenge. There's like literally 9,000 options that it's hard to find the right one.
Pull up a 2-second clip. Jenna, here, I'll give you sharing capabilities.
I will. Give me privileges.
All right, here we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at young Dan.
750,000. We're thinking of doing this for like as a freebie. Like we're just going to go out and run the streets of LA for free. No. Alarm is deflated.
I think something's here.
Aw.
CJ.
CJ.
All right, guys, the challenge starts now.
That's just a little teaser.
That's all. That's all. Your challenge starts
we'll
now.
put it up. We'll put it up.
Oh my God.
Comment if you like.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's a comment below if you want to see the full
Also,
challenge.
the biggest credit in the world to Luke for just joining our video to be our honorary CJ TJ. Because
He killed it too. He was funny.
that.
Yeah.
He didn't
And I
want to take
liked the braiding the hair because that was the season that like Polly
And
was
honestly,
stealing Cara Maria's hair.
He kind of stole the show. Like I'm just going through and he went through the whole
Yeah, he's
final.
like, all right, come on guys, next we're gonna do this, and
He
you're gonna
led
find
the
cheese in a box.
entire final. It's amazing.
Look
That was
out, TJ. There's a new TJ in town. CJ.
Okay, we're gonna put this on YouTube if people want it, but you gotta comment that you want it.
I want it
Yeah,
on YouTube
comment that
because
you
I've
want
been
it.
wanting
Call
to
to
find it
action.
before and it's been hard. So yeah, this is exciting.
Hashtag fake final, and if you hashtag fake final, we'll add those up. Let's see if we can get some good hashtags. Hashtag fake final. All right. Episode 6 next week. Don't know what the hell it is. Can't wait though. Excellent season so far, except for the controversy. But I love it because Dan's conspiracy corner is alive and well. I mean, I started that just on a hunch randomly the first season at AfterBuzz that I did, and it's gone on every season now. And now they're
There's a lot of conspiracies.
there. It is. Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that happens, huh?
Yep. All right. See y'all next week. Bye.
Thank you guys.